Hey everybody, welcome to another video by 520fishing.net. My name is Moose, and I'm going to be your host again, imagine that. Today I want to talk about kind of a prequel to a series that I want to do on swim baits. I am not the most versed in fishing swim baits, but I know that they produce fish. I know that they're incredibly resilient and weedless. And I've got some really cool areas on my lake that I want to be able to throw a swim bait. Now, something that I've been kind of sort of studying lately. I haven't really done a ton of it, but I've been really trying to educate myself on swim baits. And one thing that I find, the more that I look into it, is that bigger swim baits are going to produce bigger fish. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not interested in a smaller swim bait for when those fish are really finicky and maybe they're really, they're not really super aggressive. But I'm talking about keying in on those aggressive females that are out there and they're feeding. Right now, we're in post-spawn here in Michigan, and I can tell you that we have caught some phenomenal fish the last couple of weeks, even here on our own little lake. And it's not a little lake, but we have 3 different lakes that we can get to in our bass boat from my lake. And I can tell you those big females are starting to really get aggressive because they just got done spawning, they're a little hungry, they're a little irritated and cranky. Guys who probably know what I'm talking about, right? Your wife just had a baby. You're going to go out and feed her whatever she wants to eat. You're going to really wait on her hand and foot. Well, I can tell you, those big female bass are just like that. They want to eat, and they're going to go out and they're going to aggressively hunt those baits down. So I ended up today, while I was at Bass Pro Shop, picking up some of these Zoom baits, and these are the 7-inch Mag Super Fluke Smoking Shad. I also bought them in the White Pearl. And I want to show you guys just how big of a bait this is. Look at the size of that honker there, right? Now I can tell you that these also have the ripped open belly so that you can bury your hook back up through it, as well as they have almost a hook line in there. I have a feeling I'm going to have my hook a little bit sticking out there. But how I plan on rigging these, if I can find what I just did with my hooks. Where are you? Hold on, I'm coming. I plan on using those these Trocas hooks with these. And how I'm going to do this is a 5/0 hook. And what I plan on doing is, now like I said, keep in mind I am not the foremost expert on swim baits by any means. This will be a new experience for me. It's something that I have had very little exposure to. That's kind of embarrassing to say actually, because I really should have better exposure to these baits. But basically you screw the knuckle in, you bring this hook back, you figure out where it's going to come out at, you go ahead and punch it through the top, right down the middle, bring it out through the top, and there you go. So you got your hook right through the top. Look at that, they bite down, blammo. This is why we were talking the other day, or in another video, about having an ultra sharp hook. I can tell you that bait in the water, darting back and forth, is going to produce some big bass. And I am so excited to try these things out. I can't wait to get out on the water. And like I said, with that big Tokars hook sticking out the top, look at that. That hook is just so amazing, man. If you guys haven't felt these hooks, you really got to check them out. I'm telling you, these are the sharpest hooks I've ever felt. They are just like surgical precision. I mean, it's unbelievable. But I know when that big bass comes up and buckets that whole bait, and I set that hook, look at that. Look at that. I barely even touched my finger and it sank right into my skin. Like, you can't even drag your finger past it. It's so sharp. It just sinks in. But that bait darting through the water is going to produce a ton of fish. Now, I do have other hooks. I've also got some big Magnum like 8/0s, so the hook's going to be a little bit further back. But you know what? When you got a fish coming at this bait, listen, any bass that's going after this bait, right? I don't want the little 12-incher, right? So he's going to come up, he's going to short bite it, whatever. Whatever. You get a 3-4 pounder, that bait's going to go down the throat. They are going to hit this thing so hard, either head on or from underneath or from the side or wherever. That hook is the ticket to this bait. You are bringing in that fish. I'm going to fish this on a medium heavy, probably 10-pound fluorocarbon. I really don't like to go any heavier than that, and I know there's a lot of people out there, well, I'd throw that on some braid with some 30-pound braid. Listen, 10-pound, here in Michigan, I mean, I think our state record's like 12, and that was from a long time ago, so the chances of me getting one of those and breaking my line, not so good. So I'm going to stick with that, and if I do get a muskie or a pike that hits this when I'm out on St. Clair or even on my lake, you know what, it was a fun experience. But look for these. These Zoom baits are great, and they're a great purchase too. I think for what is this, a 5-pack? I think I paid like $5, so $1 a bait. This bait should last me a long time. This is nice, solid, you know, good feeling rubber, really flexible. It's got that nice little twin V-tail in the back. You know, that thing's going to produce some amazing action going through the water. Jerk, jerk, jerk. It's going to be awesome. So, well, yeah, and that's a good point. Whether you're jerking this bait across the water or whether you're swimming it, you know, whatever you're doing. If you're just pulling it along, great. It's a swim bait. Drop, let it drop, come back up, whatever. Pause it to make it seem like it's looking around to see if there's another fish, or even jerk baiting. Right? Either way, don't forget to continue to follow us at 520fishing.net and Facebook. Please, by all means, like our page on Facebook. Just do a search for 520 Fishing. We show up. Like us. We're going to be running some contests coming up on our site for some really cool stuff. We're going to have lures. We're going to have gear. We're going to have all kinds of stuff. Clothing. We've got a great clothing sponsor that's getting ready to sign with us and work with us, and that's going to be an incredible day for you guys to get some really cool fishing, apparel. And continue to check out our videos. We're going to keep bringing you guys videos whether you like it or not. I'm Moose. See you next time.